watching. And so I'm happy to be here. Shout out to my family who, you guys know if I'm here, my family's here. So shout out to my family, my friends, all of my colleagues, my principal's here. I'm just really, really honored and really humbled to be here today. So thank you. Okay, so today's theme is my brother's keeper. And this one really hits home for me. Not just like spiritually or culturally, but personally, because I actually have two biological brothers of my own. Let me tell you, I do not always agree with everything that they do. Not even close. And if you've ever been around us during our private times, you can attest to that. But I love them. I am loyal to them. I'm honest with them. And if somebody messes with them, you know I don't play about them. So don't mess with them. Because that's what it means to be a sibling. That's what it means to be connected. And that's what it means to be a keeper. So now, I think we can all agree on like a general definition of the word brother, right? You have the same mom or dad. But if you grew up in a black household, you know that the term brother comes from a whole different dictionary. We don't just have brothers. We have our biological brothers, our half brothers, we have play brothers, we have church brothers, we have my mama's best friend's son, but we grew up together, so that kind of makes us brothers. We have my best friend's brothers, or my brother's best friends, who are also my brothers. And then there are the brothers where your mom just brings home somebody's kid and says, you guys be nice. He's going to stay with us for a little while. And just like that, you've gained a sibling. But that is not accidental. That is not random. It is cultural and it is historic. When we look back at our history, post-slavery, Reconstruction, Jim Crow, we have to acknowledge a really painful reality. Black families were often divided, broken apart, scattered, and even lost. And so when the world attempted to strip our families apart, we created new family ties. We said, if blood won't do it, love will do it. If the systems won't protect us as a community, we will protect each other. If the world says we don't belong to each other, we will belong to each other anyway. And that's why the Black concept of family, whether it's brother, sister, auntie, uncle, and even godparents, is so strong. It means if something happens to me, you guys are going to step in. If my child needs wisdom or correction, please get them together. And if my family needs support, you need to show up with your whole chest. And we take that so seriously because we learn to survive by stretching the definition of family much wider than just the biological framework. So that brings us back to today's question. Am I my brother's keeper? But before you can answer that, you have to define who is your brother. So it might be the boy that your mama birthed, but it might be the colleague who confides in you. It might be the neighbor whose name you barely know, but you guys have similar struggles. It might be the young person who needs guidance and structure and somebody to believe in them. It might be the friend who always shows up for others while quietly drowning. It might even be the person that you disagree with, the person who challenges you, or the person you've been avoiding. And we all know that there is somebody that we avoid. They are probably sitting in this room. But being a brother is not just about DNA. It's about connection, it's about responsibility, and it's about recognizing that my life is tied to yours and that your life is tied to mine. But let me be clear, being your brother's keeper does not mean fixing people. Because if that was the case, I would have fixed my brothers a long time ago, okay? It doesn't mean controlling their every move, and it doesn't mean rescuing them every time that they fall. Sometimes being a keeper looks like just showing up, just listening, telling the truth even when it's uncomfortable, checking in, protecting, giving grace, and holding people accountable because you love them too much to let them self-destruct. Sometimes being a keeper looks like saying, I'm not going to give up on you, but you're also not going to stay where you are currently. And sometimes it looks like being honest enough to say, I may not agree with what you're doing, but I'm going to stand beside you because I love you. Just like with my own brothers, I might not agree with every choice they make, but, and this is important, love doesn't always mean agreement. Loyalty doesn't always mean silence. And protection doesn't always look like approval. But being a keeper means I love you enough to tell you the truth, and I love you enough to stay when the truth gets hard. Dr. Martin Luther King Jr. constantly reminded us that humanity is interconnected. He said we are all caught in an inescapable network of mutuality. In other words, what affects you affects me. What lifts you lifts me. And what breaks you, it breaks me too. Dr. King believed community was not a convenience, it was a calling. You don't get to choose whether or not you're your brother's keeper. You do get to choose if you do it well. So today I ask you, who is God calling you to be a keeper of? Who is that person in your life, biological or chosen, who needs your honesty, your loyalty, your protection, your presence? Is it your child, your spouse, your sibling, your coworker, your pastor, a friend, a neighbor, a stranger? Or maybe, is it you? Maybe God is sending somebody to be your keeper, because keepers don't just look outward. They allow themselves to be held, supported, corrected, loved, and lifted up as well. So as we honor Dr. King, let us honor the truth that he lived and he died defending. We belong to each other. We need each other. We're responsible for one another. So let us be loyal. Let us be honest. Let us be compassionate. Let us be courageous enough to show up for one another. Yes, when it's easy, but especially when it's hard. Let us walk out of this room today committed to loving not only our biological brothers, our chosen brothers, our community brothers, and those brothers that we haven't even met yet. Because when we choose to be keepers, truly keepers, we honor our past, we strengthen our present, and we build a future worthy of Dr. King's dream. So for a moment of personal reflection, because I like throwing this in there, and I really thought about this because, and luckily I have friends that tell me the truth, and I'm like, so how far is too far, right? Best case scenario, people will love it and are touched by it, and worst case, they just won't invite me back. And then I realized they typically don't invite you back to speak twice anyway. So sometimes saying the uncomfortable part is hard, but you need to say it. So here goes. So ask yourself, how are you showing up for those that you care about? And how are you using your privilege to cover others who need you? My privilege is that I choose to stand here today to use my platform to proudly stand with my Black and brown immigrant brothers and sisters. I will stand with you, and I will stand for you, and I will cover you in any way that I can, because your life matters, your humanity matters, and your safety matters. Now, for all of our non-immigrants, us Americans, I'm talking to you. As a Black woman, it is the audacity for me sometimes to see how we treat immigrants as less than on land that we were never invited to come to begin with. And so I want you guys to all take that in, how we treat others, because there is a world of people who would love to tell us how we have made them feel as a country. So, as a woman who was raised in a church with very traditional values, I stand with my LGBTQ brothers and sisters. I stand with you on the premise that no one should be abused, attacked, mistreated, or harmed because of how they identify or who they love. God is love. And if God loves me, and all that comes with that, then God loves you. And to everyone out here who is struggling, whether it's with mental illness, alcoholism, drug addiction, homelessness, etc., I stand with you and I stand for you, because I can only imagine the battles that you face every day to just not give up. So I am here for you, and you can get through this, because I am my brother's keeper. So now it's your turn. So think twice before you share that post that's highlighting the worst moments of somebody's life. Yes, I see you guys in the comments on Columbus Man. I'm just saying, like, think twice before you do that. And your employer sees you too, in case you haven't noticed. For my students, think twice before you forward that Snapchat. Don't do it. Because when the shoe is on the other foot, you want to feel that people aren't going to share that about you. Pause before you join in on the local gossip of your brothers and sisters. Speak up when you see and hear something that is harmful to people that you care about. Ask yourself, am I being my brother's keeper? Furthermore, if I was the target or the subject, would my brothers go out of their way to be keepers of me? And what I say is, I recently went to see the Civil Rights Museum as I closed. And it was so touching for me because I said, I know that if harm were to come my way, I would have people that have my back standing behind me. I would also have people who stands with me. But I'm so fortunate and blessed to say I would also have a line of people who stand in front of me to cover me for whatever happens. That is what it means to be a brother's keeper. So think about that. How do you live your life and how do you treat others? Because when you fall in hard times, can you close your eyes and think about, if I needed something, who is going to stand before me? Not stand beside me to nudge me on, not stand behind me so they can tell me it's okay, but who's willing to stand in front of you to take whatever is coming your way? So as I leave you with that, I want to say thank you and God bless you. Now you clap, because I'm not leaving yet. Yeah.